they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. You talk about this Washington defense. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7.
7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Jamin Davis, the one to get up from his linebacker spot and make that play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. 73. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. It's a 1st down Washington on a pickup of 18.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it in.
Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. gets it up the middle. Gets around him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
First down, Howell to throw. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the run.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. The safety, Terrell Edmunds, picks it. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's Hurts to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction.
And under pressure, and they got to him again. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Another example there why offensive guards have to really prepare themselves to try and play against Daron Payne. 11.5 sacks in 2022. He picks up another one there for DC.
.43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. 2nd and short now following the fumble. Howell completing the quick throw out wide. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 39 yards there, a big one. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Robinson. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders have got it back to within a score. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On first and 10, it's Hurts. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here's 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
27-yard line. A gain of 12. First down, Commanders.
Let's go.
Now throwing on first down here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmunds, picks it. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
No touch that. You on left. 73. 73.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure.
and start cutting into this deficit, you can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And Howe will throw it. That's out wide here for Robinson. And that's good for a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now try to pick it up on 3rd. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't ready up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Stays on his feet. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for 1st. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Hey, 73, 73.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. That is caught. There he goes, left side. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 63 yards. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that length is a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. 70 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
It's easy to celebrate every good run by Robinson because stories don't get much better than his last year. Shot during an attempted robbery just 13 days before the regular season. He made it back by week 5 and played in 12 games for Washington. Even better, gained almost 800 yards leading the Commanders.
Powell's got this one to Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
18 on the play. And the Washington first down.
On first down, Howell. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception. But meanwhile here, we do have an injury on the play. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And he's got it to about the 40.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
It's 2nd and 8 at the Commanders' 40-yard line.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 8. Once again, it's Swift. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. And call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
To me, this is a case of, if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the... A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Play action. Here's Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now it's Smith. And that one never got off the ground. He's going to be stopped up well behind the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player, and it appears to be Devontae Smith who's having some problems here. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Now Hurts on the option right. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 9 yards that time on the keeper. Brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
The kick by Elliott is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Swift. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
63.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Throwing is Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown! Dallas Goedert, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles are able to widen their advantage. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spend in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to go up and succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Go.
Howell throwing on third down here. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down. Here's Howell. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Back to the ground, and it's a fumble. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.